Greetings, friends. It's Jesse here, and welcome to another video within the Spirit of Prophecy playlist. And we are continuing on the topic of Israel, and I have to make a confession that I think it might be a little while longer before we get to the book of Revelation, because as I look up more and as I discover more, I am going to be revealing it to you, regardless of how short or long the videos may be. And it just seems like there is a lot more to cover before we even get to Revelation. So for those that were anxiously awaiting for Israel and Revelation, we're going to have to do a few more videos. They might be a little shorter, but they're gonna be very helpful, because like I said, as I learn more precept upon precepts, line upon lines, then I will reveal it. And I'm just titling this video More on Israel and Jesus Christ. Can it be any more clear? And the thing is another thing we have to make clear is that we have to look at the Old Testament through New Testament eyes. Okay? If we fail to do this, then we will be caught up in the delusion that has swept the Christian world today. That's just a plain simple fact. It has been mentioned that not understanding the 70 weeks of Daniel could be the greatest deception since the Garden of Eden, or the strong delusion. And to that I would have to respond, that is partly the case, because I think this right here, all you have to do is look around. Look around. Because those that can even acknowledge what the truth is of the 70 weeks of Daniel are still caught in deception when it comes to this issue regarding Israel. All because of what happened on May 13th or 14th, 1948. Okay. And failing to understand this concept could have severe consequences. And so that's why I think, along with the 70 weeks of Daniel and properly understanding it, this issue is right next to it, if not even ahead of it. Okay. So, because the 70 weeks of Daniel strongly connects with this as well, as we will see in this little video. But more on Israel and Jesus, can it be any more clear? This was astounding when I was looking into this and I saw this, and I had to go and look at it I had to carefully look at the scriptures myself, and it's amazing. Okay, so it's just simply amazing, as one of the episodes of Hour of the Truth was called. It's simply amazing. Little shout out plug for you, Jorg. So let's go ahead and get started here. This one's not going to take that long. But in Isaiah 42, 1 through 3, we read, "Behold my servant." Now, in its proper context, all you have to do is go back to Isaiah 41:8, which we covered this in a previous video, which says, "But thou, Israel, art my servant." And then it goes on to say, "the seed of Abraham." And we already discovered who the seed of Abraham is. It's Jesus Christ. Okay? And those that are in Christ are part of the Israel of God and also are the seed of Abraham, or counted as the seed. So behold my servant Israel, whom I uphold, mine elect, which means chosen one. Okay. Remember in Genesis, God chose Jacob, and through his wrestlings and through his struggles, received deliverance, and he received a new name. And that new name was called Israel. And that name, Israel, is a spiritual name, folks. It is a spiritual name because it came from a spiritual source. And that is the messenger of God. In whom my soul delighteth. So, mine elect means chosen one, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. And just like many other examples we have gone over in previous videos, Matthew in his gospel takes this and applies it to whom? Well, let's just go and look and see what is revealed to us. Matthew 12:10. And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath day? That's what the Pharisees and the scribes were asking. That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep? And if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out? How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. Then saith he to the man, Stretch forth thine hand, and he stretcheth it forth, and it was restored whole like as the other. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him. But when Jesus knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them all. Now pay very, very close attention with the passage we just read. I'll read it again. Isaiah 42, 1-3. Behold my servant, i.e., Israel, or the seed of Abraham, whom I uphold, mine elect, or chosen one, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto the truth, or unto truth. Flash forward to Matthew 12:16. And charged them, Jesus charged them, that they should not make him known, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Behold my servant, whom I have chosen, mine elect. Okay, a lot of people like to call the natural state of Israel and those that are within the state of Israel, the Jewish nation, the elect. Oh, no, 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 no. The elect belongs to the person, Jesus Christ. Behold my servant, whom I have chosen, because this is who Matthew is applying this passage to. My beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall show judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not strive nor cry, neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed shall he not break, and smoking flax shall he not quench, till he send forth judgment unto victory. And in his name shall the Gentiles trust. So who is the elect? It's Jesus Christ. And who can be part of the adoption, or part of his elect? Those that are in belief. those that are in Jesus Christ. You can call it the church, you can call it whatever, but only those that are in Jesus Christ are his elect. And Jesus Christ himself is the chosen. So therefore, we need to conclude, or we should conclude, that if Matthew is applying the phrase chosen one to Jesus Christ, then those that are in Christ are his chosen people. Did you just understand what I said? I will repeat it. If Matthew is applying the aspect of the chosen one and is applying it to Jesus Christ, therefore it is safe to conclude that those that are in Christ are God's chosen people. I don't know about you, but I think this is very astounding. And this just might cause a very big hiccup and a gasp to those that believe otherwise. Let's look at another one. Exodus 24:7-8. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord hath said will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words. So here was a covenant made in blood to the audience of the people, to the natural 12 tribes of Israel, because that's the context, really. Now, let's look at the following passages and see if we can pick up parallels, which I can almost guarantee you we can. Matthew 26:20. Just as Moses was addressing the 12 tribes, here Matthew is addressing what? Well, now when the even was come, he sat down, Jesus, with the 12. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, this is verse 27, drink ye all of it. Verse 28, for this is my blood of the New Testament, or covenant, which is shed for many, not just Jews, for the remission of sins. So here Moses connected the blood with the covenant. Here Jesus is connecting his blood with the new covenant. Same thing in Mark 14:24. And he said unto them, this is my blood of the New Testament, or New Covenant, which is shed for many. Not just Jews, but many. And in Luke 22:19-20, and he took bread and gave thanks, and brake it, and gave unto them, saying, this is my body which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me. And likewise also the cup after supper, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you. This word testament can also mean covenant. And notice how it is shed for many. You can also safely say confirmed for many. And then all you have to do is flash forward to Daniel 9:27, and this will conclude the video. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. The confirmation of the covenant was during the Last Supper, prior to the midst of the week. So even though his ministry began the 70th week. The Last Supper stood as the confirming of the covenant, and this was before the midst of the week, when he caused the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, the true Israel of God, Jesus Christ. Truth be told, truth be known, stay safe, God bless, we will see you next time. And again, just be prepared for other shorties like this, because this is a lot of heavy topics, and I don't want to boggle you down all at once. I'm sure I have done enough of that already with the previous videos that are kind of just, a lot of things you may have never heard before. And so for the next few videos, I don't know how many until we get to Revelation, they're probably going to be a little shorter, okay? Just so you can just kind of sink in the passages that we shared, or that I shared for you to also look up. So again, thank you for listening. God bless. Bye-bye.